Hello. Started fast and I said, I'm never very good at reading out loud, so I thought I'd better put in some practice first. But I'll make lots of mistakes. Don't worry about that. That is perfectly normal. I'm allowed to make mistakes, and so are you. So off we go. Day 14. Casper was in complete disgrace. He had accidentally posted the myrrh back to the east, and the other wise men were beside themselves. They knew the myrrh was a present, and you knew how... Notice the speech marks, voices, almost. You knew the myrrh was a present, and you knew how important it was. You spent all that time on the first day explaining to Wayne the camel how doctrinally significant it was that we get it for the baby. How could you forget it and post it back to the east? Balthazar howled at him. It was in a gift box and everything, joined in Melchior. There were 3 of us. We can't arrive to a new baby with only 2 presents. It would look mean and stingy. You know, it doesn't actually say anywhere in the Bible that there were 3 wise men, started Casper. He could tell the others were really angry with him, and he wondered if the best thing might have been to sneak off back to the east and hope that by the time the other magi arrived that they might have calmed down a little. There'll be no more of your superior little speeches trying to show off how wise you are, snapped Balthazar. From now on, ride at the back and stay out of trouble. Leave me and Melchior to get the frankincense and somehow find some replacement myrrh. And you'll have to clear up all the camel dung for the rest of the journey, called Melchior, as he rose past to join Balthazar. Sad, isn't it? Casper was miserable. He had to do all the horrible jobs whenever the Magi set up camp for the night, and he was just brimming with facts and wisdom that he wasn't allowed to say out loud. He was riding Gary, the least comfortable camel, and a little way behind Melchior and Balthazar. They had found a small shop by the road and were haggling over a price of a nice bag of frankincense. Casper leaned forward and whispered in Gary's ear, Frankincense is an aromatic resin obtained from trees in the genus Boswellia. It is obtained by tapping trees and allowing the resin to bleed out and then harden. The hardened wax resins are called tears. The more opaque the resin, the better the quality. But Gary just spat to the ground and ignored Casper. He was a very lazy animal and suspected that he would now have to do rather a lot more travelling to get replacement myrrh. Up ahead, Balthazar had just reached a deal with the shopkeeper. Done, said the shopkeeper. Do you want gift wrapping for an extra silver coin? Oh, yes, please, said Balthazar. I don't suppose you know of anyone round here who sells myrrh, do you? He asked resignedly. As a matter of fact, I do, said the shopkeeper. He's a bit of an odd fellow, though. Those working in the I can't even say it, the myrrh trade tend to be. He might make you do some puzzles or answer some riddles before he lets you buy any myrrh. So here we've got some things on the passage now. 1 or 2 of these explain why you must always read the passage. As used in the first paragraph of the passage, the phrase besides themselves means. So let's have a look. Let's get out our piece of paper. Here we are, we've got that. Right, Casper was in complete disgrace. He had accidentally, so people are cross with him, okay? He's been a naughty boy. He had accidentally posted the myrrh back to the east, and the other wise men were besides themselves. So in that case, they're very cross. You could be besides yourself with pleasure, or all sorts of things. But, so, that's the context of the question. Now let's see what they've offered us. As used in the first passage, always means, look at the passage, that's where the answer is. Very excited, it could be, but in a different sentence. Entirely uninterested, no. Next to themselves, I suppose in a very literal sense, if your ghost comes back and it's beside themselves, then it's beside themselves. But we haven't got any ghosts, have we? There's nothing literal going on here. Disengaged, it's extremely angry. Casper is in the doghouse. Things are bad for him. They have got the hump. Camel got the hump. Okay. Number 2. Melchior doesn't want to arrive with only 2 presents because they're supposed to have 3. 2 presents might look miserly. He loves giving presents. He's angry with Casper. It would be an insult to their host. Now, without referring back to the passage, any one of those would do, wouldn't it? Now, if we have a look, it's Melchior. Melchior says, it says, it was in a gift box and everything. There are 3 of us. We can't arrive to visit the baby with only 2 presents. It'll make us look mean and stingy. Mean and stingy, not generous enough. But it's Balthazar that says, on the first day, Casper was explaining to Wayne the camel how doctrinally significant it was that they get the, whatever it's called, the myrrh for the baby. So, again, refer back to it. Which one are we on? Melchior doesn't want to arrive. Yes, Melchior didn't want to arrive because it would look mean and stingy. Now, so what's it was Balthazar that said that there was supposed to be 3. And miserly means mean and stingy, the opposite of generous. And he probably does love giving presents, don't we all? He is angry with Casper, who wouldn't be? And it would be an insult to their hosts. No host is ever going to be insulted by your presence. Number 3. Another word for aromatic is, now we've got mythical, valuable, unusual, exotic and fragrant. Now refer back to the passage. So back we go, and it turns up about sort of 2/3 down over here. Frankincense, and that's another reason why to read it, because then you know roughly where to find it. Whereas if you haven't read it, you're going to spend ages looking for it. It will take you much longer. You'll have a lower mark, and it will take you longer per question. It's just a false economy. So, frankincense is an aromatic resin obtained from trees of the genus Boswellia. If we don't already know, that doesn't really help, does it? So mythical, I suppose, would work. Valuable would work. Unusual would work. Exotic and fragrant would all work if you don't know what aromatic means. So think of other words that come from aromatic. What about aroma? Have you heard of aromatherapy? Don't get me going on aromatherapy. I love those oils and the smells and things, but it's the therapy bit that gets me going. I'm a non-believer, let's just put it that way. Sometimes you'll hear chefs saying about aromatic spices. They're smelly spices they put it on. So it's fragrant. Now you might know what fragrant means, but you do know that a fragrance, because they're being advertised all over the telly at this time of year. They don't say stinky stuff that you put on you to give you a bit of oomph. They say it's a fragrance, it's aromatic. Happy? Aromatic, fragrant, smells good. Number 4. Transparent frankincense resin would be more aromatic, of poorer quality, of better quality, more expensive, rarer. Do you know what? I've got some. And I always thought that the clear stuff, because it's very pretty, I'd always thought that would be the best one to have. But I've since found out through Casper talking to the camel, blah, 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 blah. The more opaque the resin, the better the quality. Now, opaque and transparent often turns up in the 11+. Transparent means you can see straight through it. Opaque means you can't see through it. So they're opposites. Opaque, you can't see through. Transparent, you can clearly see through. And let's have a little look. So the transparent frankincense would be better. Now, he told us that the best quality stuff, here we are, about there, it says the more opaque the resin, the better the quality, and therefore the more transparent, the poorer the quality. So the answer is B. Happy with that? Why? But nowhere does it say. So if you're scanning over that looking for the word opaque, you're not going to find it. What did Melchior and Balthazar buy in the passage? Now this is another example of why you should read the whole passage, because it says here, they found a small shop by the road and were haggling over the price of a nice bag of frankincense. Then we go, oh, you can't see there, a nice bag of frankincense. Then we go on to hear what Casper's mottering away to Gary. But then it comes back and the shopkeeper says, done. Do you want gift wrapping for an extra silver coin? So that's two things. They buy both the resin and the gift wrap there. So that makes D. Two things. Frankincense and gift wrapping. And then the final question. The final character to speak in the passage is, and sometimes questions are as straightforward as this. So don't be a memory test, you just work your way down to the end. Now remember, the end isn't on this side, you go round to the other side. See? And it says, as a matter of fact, I do, said the shopkeeper. So the shopkeeper, D is the right answer. Happy? Right, I shall see you tomorrow. Thank you for visiting. Bye. Oh, I'm rubbish with these things. Try again.